Sport fans, I'm Michael Sakala.
And I'm Brandon Wicker.
And how the hell are you? So Brandon, let's get right into it with race car. How did Joey Logano become the second youngest champion in Daytona history? How did he do this? Who is this kid?
He's a good driver, but he's in the right place at the right time. That's how you win Daytona. You know, got the right push behind him at the end when the caution came out. Whenever it does that with the green, white, checkered, and you just go around the two laps, you know, once they make it to the final white without a wreck, if you're getting help of any kind, getting pushed, you're you know. I told the producer here before while we were going to watch it, I was like, here's what I do. I shouldn't actually say this, but being sports minded, but I usually watch the first 10, 20 laps if I can even go that far. I said, then if I have something to do, I can go do it, and I want to come back and see the last 15, 20 laps.
Yes.
Because otherwise it just becomes
you eventually
because of the restrictor plate on the big track, it just becomes you cannot do anything that anybody else can unless you are being air drafted from behind, pushed around the track. Unlike what we're going to see today in the Atlanta race, you know, if you have a good car and you're able to turn it and drive it better than somebody else, it's going to show because you're going to be able to take off and leave them. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. Daytona, you will never see somebody get half a track lap lead on somebody. He's never going to run off and leave the pack. As soon as he gets away from separating them, they're just going to push themselves right up to him.
They catch up to him. Now, you were saying earlier, what happened with this Atlanta race with the big guys?
Oh, yeah, this week, NASCAR muddled it up. The pre-inspections before the qualifying, I don't know what happened. They were messing around. I don't know what they were doing, taking their time, whatever. Anyway, you had quite a few guys. Let's see, little unknown people like Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth, Tony Stewart. None of those people got to qualify because they ran out of time, so they had to shove them in the back of the pile today. So.
Again, I don't really know a lot about racing other than, you put the gas in there and you check the oil every 3,000 miles. Is there no order to who gets? I mean, how are these guys not put in?
The only time they do a pecking order deal is if it was completely washed out, like let's say a rain event wiped out where nobody could qualify. Yeah. Then you go by your points position at the time.
That seems about the fairest way to do it.
Yeah. This was just a dumb. They just didn't get it done in time. After you do it race after race, year after year, get these guys ready to qualify. They just took too much time, I guess.
Now, with all these guys starting in the back, which one of them you think is going to win out of the what is it, the 4 or 5 of them? Who's going to maybe not win the actual race, but which one of those 5 is going to come from the back and get as close to the front, if not the front? Jimmy, I guess. I guess Jimmy will be the front runner to be the man.
Of the 4, I'd say.
Or a speed racer.
I'd say.
Who's the better climber to get through the pack? Who's the better pack guy?
Until Stewart proves something to me, I would say Kenseth, Gordon, and Johnson.
Could all run up there. Yeah.
I'm actually looking for a repeat today from Casey Kane.
Really?
He likes that track. Does a good job there. I finished 3rd last week. Dale he got his way back up in there in the end. Yeah. But finished 3rd.
I felt bad because if I'm not mistaken, I think Speed Racer he led 86 or some of the laps, something like that.
He led the most laps.
Yeah, he did all right, but at the end, I guess he got caught up in all the cautions. On the football, I got on here base. What have we learned so far with the combines? Have we learned anything at all, really?
I would say not. And you've got somebody now talking about they want to adjust.
Yeah, I've seen something like that.
Stop doing certain things, do other things, which I'm all for because I don't see.
I don't get it either.
If I can do an Olympic event like run and jump 10 feet, I don't know how that equates to football.
No,
unless we're going to constantly see these guys try to go airborne, for a photo op. Jumping over somebody's shoulder pad and you can get on ESPN. That's not football.
But it does make a cool touchdown. If you jump from the 8 and make it in, that ain't bad. Yeah. Reggie White or Reggie Wayne or Reggie Bush. God, I can't get my Reggies.
Make sure you keep the ball with it. Drop it before the goal line.
This is true. Other than that, I got in there. A lot of teams are making their moves. They're cutting a lot of the vets.
And this thing we talked about earlier before this started, this Cleveland Browns. Nobody can
figure it out. Cleveland Browns. How about the Cleveland Browns?
We talked about this, and I said, why, when you could have picked him. I don't really know what team was all Johnny Manziel out. I mean, I wasn't. He's not a first-round draft pick.
No.
But Cleveland made him that. I say you could have got that's the same. What they're going to get out of him, you could have got that in the 4th round.
I know.
So they wasted a first-round draft pick.
Yep.
Not a guy. We'll see if this is legit. He's in this rehab for whatever he's doing, and they go and pick up Josh McCown to be their quarterback. Now they had to fill some kind of gap if they weren't going to re-sign Poyer.
Poyer, I think they're going to let him. And to me, that's a mistake. The only thing I know with Johnny right now, the only thing I know he is doing in rehab, he's probably first in line as far as getting his daily meds. But as far as being
true.
But as far as being a quarterback, I think he's a joke.
But like what you just said there is true. Do you know of McCown will be, I believe, I'm trying to get it before I say it, the 23rd starting quarterback in the last...
What, 2 years?
No, in the last, it's not that long amount of time, but they've had 23 starting. Look at Green Bay. Okay, not the, but since they got Brett Favre in '92, you had Favre and Rodgers.
That's it.
That's it. These guys have 23 in a shorter span than that, starting quarterbacks with McCown.
Yeah.
And Hoyer, the one who quarterbacked them last year, is the only one of them 23 who has a winning record as their QB.
That is just a disgrace.
So we're going to let him go off to the side and take McCown. Good luck, Cleveland. Good luck.
In NBA news, it's a hard luck case for.
Wait, before we jump there, we forgot to mention your team.
What's that?
Your team.
Oh yeah, the video.
The boys want to hang the tag on Bryant come Monday.
I'm not too
and they
happy with that.
They want the old running back there to test the market, Murray.
And I know they're trying. There's talk. AP, this, that, and the other. AP's dad wants him staying in the Vikings. Now they want him to talk. It's a little crazy. You don't know what's going on. This whole Walmart video I was telling you about. Apparently, Scheffner's been watching this and doing investigating since September. And all we know as of right now, there may or may not be a video that may be incriminating enough, like the Ray Rice. It happened in 2011. And all we know is that the cop that came there on the scene interviewed 2 individuals that were driving cars registered to Dez, and that Dez and some girl, the alleged victim, I guess, in this situation, interviewed them. When it was all said and done, it basically was put up as it was just an argument in a parking lot and everything was done. Now all of a sudden they're trying to make it to be something that who knows what. And why does it take so long to get a video? How does TMZ not throwing some money around to get this damn video so we can all see?
We're all about TMZ.
You know, I don't understand. What are we waiting for? I think it's a freaking joke. It's
all I know is I don't care.
No, who does care?
There is no charges that have been brought against Dennis Bryant. I never even heard of it. I don't care what he did in the parking lot.
I said on Facebook to a bunch of people, what's this have to do with him catching touchdowns on Sunday? It doesn't mean a damn thing.
They need to.
Yeah, they do. As a producer, let it go. Let's move on. Now, like I was saying, in regards to this hardship case in the NBA, do we even say poor Derrick Rose?
I gotta tell you,
his third knee operation. This time it's on his right knee and his meniscus. The beginning, at first, it was done for the season, possibly even a career-ending situation. Now we're talking 4 to 6 weeks.
I don't buy that, Mike. I'm gonna tell you. You 4 to 6 weeks. The playoffs are starting.
They're coming
right after that. Like right after week 6 of this supposed 4 to 6, and they're going to throw this man in the heat of a playoff, so he can get you to the second round and tear it again. I mean,
the problem is even if he came back in 4 to 6 weeks, like I wrote in here, we're not going to see the Derrick Rose that we seen on February 12th when he went up against the Cleveland LeBrons and he just punched out 30 and he looked almost unstoppable driving the lane. He's got a mental situation. If you ever the last time he rehabbed. He's not one to just jump right back in there, He's thinking about his future. He wants to be able to walk to his office. He wants to be able to go with his kids. He's not going to jump back into this. Now, I will say, the other 5 guys will step up. Like I go to Hendrick, Butler, Gasol, Dunleavy, and they will step up.
Albert Brooks needs to step up the most because he's going to be having to fill that role.
I honestly believe they basically, by Rose, in this situation, the Cleveland LeBrons have basically almost cleared themselves a path right to the NBA Finals. Well, I was just going to say, I am beginning to start to sip the tea of the Hot Atlanta Hawks. I'm just not ready to call it my summer drink as of yet, but that remains to be seen.
I'm starting to sip.
Now, in sad news in the NBA, former great Anthony Mason dies, unfortunately, at the young age of 48. For all of us that remember back in the 90s, his bruising style of basketball was just classic when it came to the Bulls and Knicks matchup.
Team, yeah.
Oh my God! It was just, there was nothing better than watching these two teams go at it.
48 years old.
Unfortunately, he had some severe heart conditions and problems, and it took his life. And from the show, I just want to give our prayers out to his family, friends, and loved ones. He's surely going to be missed, especially in New York.
Throw in another one there that I forgot to tell you about, but it's been within a week of this, somewhere around there. Remember Jerome Kearse?
Oh yeah.
Portland Trailblazer, same thing. Played in the Bulls title era. 53 years old, dead.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
From what?
I think it was a heart issue also, like his. I can't be positive, but I just popped up in there. I remember hearing about that.
Man.
Jerome Kearse.
It's a shame that they go so young on us. It starts to hit home, unfortunately, but moving up, into our ages now. This is right around the corner. It's a scary thing. On to the NHL, and we're basically down to about 25 games. And quite honestly, just like I said last week, what do we know at this point? I know it right now. There's 16 teams that right now, if the playoffs will start this weekend. Could we honestly say Nashville and Montreal, the tops in the East and West, would be the front runners or guaranteed to go play for the Cup? Because Calgary and Boston, who are like the 8th seeds in both their respective conferences, they're not bad. I mean,
the 8th seed has won out before. Yeah.
I mean, I was looking. The teams looking in on the East. We got Florida, the Flyers, and Ottawa. They're only as far back as anywhere from from 4 to 7 out. Over in the West, we got San Antonio, Dallas, and Colorado. They're anywhere from 2 to 5 out. It's turned into a race when it comes to the hockey.
Just like the Bulls, the Blackhawks were dealt the death blow when Patrick Kane was shoved into the boards.
Yeah, I seen that.
Broke his clavicle. Now, they just made a trade with who was it? I jotted that down. They made a trade with the Coyotes, Phoenix, to get an Antoine Vermont, but he's more of a player like they already have. They're gonna have to get goals from somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, he does score a little bit, but he's real good like on face-offs, penalty kills, stuff like that. They picked him up. We'll see how that fits in. But somebody's going to have to substitute for a guy who is on his way to a possible, MVP of the league this year.
Well, as of right now, Ovechkin, he's got 39 goals. He's still leading the league. And like I was bringing up last week, and I think there may be a little bit of a separation now between who may be the better goalie at this point in the season with Price and Ryan. Price last night shot a blank, 30 shots on goal. They beat the Maple Leafs. 4-0. He's got now 36 wins, 6 shutouts. His goals per game is now at 1.8, whereas Ryan he's lost 4 out of his last 5, and they're in a little slump right now over in Nashville. They're going to have to figure out a way to get him to correct himself.
And they could, I don't really pay too much attention to that until that time comes, because if he goes on a cold streak, you're just looking behind you and you're out of the playoffs, just like that.
On to boxing. Who would ever thought we'd actually have something to talk about with boxing? But the super fight is actually going to finally happen. May 2nd, Pacquiao and Mayweather are actually going to finally get in the ring. They finally came to some kind of agreement with regards, I guess, to steroid testing, money, so on and so forth. And I want to give a thank you out to my man Tony Bennett out on Facebook. He put a post out there, and it's unbelievable the 2 different sides and the strong arguments everybody's got for both Pacquiao and Mayweather to win this fight. And I'm not so much of a boxing follower or fan per se. Obviously, I like to watch the super fight, but it sounds to me like we're going to have the boxer, Cash Money Mayweather, against this relentless punching power that just constantly keeps coming right at you, Pacquiao. It's going to make I'm assuming it's going to make for an interesting fight. And I guess the thought is this super fight can only be matched if there is some type of controversy, whether one of the judges judge the fight like as if you were even watching it, or maybe somebody gets caught with a quick knockout to rematch. I think is where they're trying to rebuild boxing between these 2 guys, because there's no big guys. There's nobody to talk about other than this.
I don't watch it enough to know, and certainly even in that, I'm not going to be paying to watch the event. I'll find out about it on ESPN.
Oh, it'll be over $1.50. I'd say it's probably about $1.25 to $1.50 to watch.
As far as Pacquiao needs to reach back if he's going to still be called this relentless punching power as you have here, because the last few times he didn't show it. So
no,
it's
going to be good. I figure as time goes on, when the fight gets closer, we'll get a little bit more research into the fight. But it's amazing how many people are already hyping it up. And then in the MMA this past weekend, some history was made. It was the first time ever in MMA history that women were the headliner. Ronda Rousey was undefeated and taking on Kat Zingano in the Bantam Lightweight Championship. And it also was the fastest knockout or tap out ever within 14 seconds. So apparently the way the fight went, I didn't get to see these
Hold
two.
it, Mike Tyson?
I didn't get to see this cat fight per se, but these two kittens, when they got into the ring, Kat decided to go charging right at Ronda, rolls her over and rolls her right over into her head, flips her onto her head. Ronda goes judo on her ass, basically rolls her over, wrench locks her arm, puts her shoulder into some type of wrenching gridlock move. 14 seconds later, our girl Kat, she's tapping out.
I saw on the TV there, she was about to pull her arm out of the socket.
14 seconds. What can you do in 14 seconds?
Can't even, I don't know anymore.
I mean, I was thinking about this. I do a few things fast, one of which I'm not real proud of, per se.
I got you.
But that's a lot, 14 seconds, Now, going into, leaving off with martial arts, I want to give a plug to a local Taekwondo establishment here in Fort Myers. It's actually called Taekwondo United. And my son Michael actually goes to his after-school program. The school is amazing. And one of the things I want to bring up is on Mondays and Fridays from 6:45 to 7:45, he has now an adult class where he's teaching self-defense and some cardio. It's like a workout session for an hour. Myself personally, I've been doing it for about a month, and I got to tell you, if you're looking to get in shape, Master Jeff is his name. The gentleman's, he is just that. He's a master. The class is unbelievable. I mean, way back in the early, or mid, or should I say mid 80s, when I used to wrestle, I thought those practices were tough. This guy, maybe he shows my age, he's kicking my ass in more ways than one. If you're interested, it's 16964 Alico Mission Way. It's number 210 Fort Myers. It's 239-822-6544. You can also go to train@tkdunited.com or facebook.com/tkdunited. Give the guy a look up. Come on out. If anything, just come out and watch me. I'll sign autographs. I guess I can sign your hats and whatever else you got out there. You can watch me sweating out there and punching the bags and whatnot.
Just for the record, I told him I'm still not afraid of him.
No, I can't fight yet. I can show you my knuckles from punching the punching bag. It really did tear me up.
Before you switch to March Madness here coming up, just real quickie, baseball, spring trainings are going on. Just something idiotic I just heard recently. You remember the what was probably going to be the league MVP, Giancarlo Stanton of the Marlins, getting hit in the face. Well, in his team's spring training, he was hit by a pitch in batting practice.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, did it do anything to his arm?
No, it hit him below the waist. But just
why are they not going to make him wear a special?
He's got something.
guard?
I haven't seen it, but they say it's almost like a football helmet. He's got some kind of gear up there, but he's.
There's also, I know.
He says he's not bothered.
There's also, and I guess maybe it could be a half piece or a full face. You ever see an NBA or guys when they break their nose, they wear that. They put that guard on. Right. I don't know how annoying that would be with regards to.
I think it'd be rather annoying.
But I still think they do, and they do in college where these guys wear that extra guard over there.
Just to get that out of his system, But you wouldn't expect to be thrown at by your own team.
Now, I also when it comes to Major League Baseball, I think we want to give out a shout out, and everybody should be going out. What is it, the Jet Park? I believe, is where they can come out there and see you. You're throwing what, 75 to 80 now? I think they got you clocked there.
Yeah. Feel my arm sore.
Yeah, so I heard.
Huh?
Oh, she's bringing up I guess the ticket sales. What sales have we got here?
Oh, Chris Sale. She wants to talk about her White Sox pitcher.
Oh, Chris. Oh.
Had an in-home accident where he broke a bone in his foot.
What did he?
I
What
don't
was he?
know.
What did he try to do? Kick the dog and miss and hit the
Yeah,
corner?
don't know what it was.
Huh?
It
Is that why his wife got him in?
It just happened in house. That's all I know.
Yeah, you gotta love those in-house foot breakings, huh? Yeah, we all know what that means, huh? They must have went out and seen 50 Shades of Grey, huh?
Hey, I've walked through the house honestly and hit my foot on a piece of furniture and thought I broke
Oh,
it.
yeah, it'll hurt you. Hit the corner on there in your little foot. Yeah, and I guess we'll leave it off now with the fact that it's up and coming with March Madness
Around the corner.
and college basketball. Last night I had the pleasure of watching Kentucky and Arkansas last night. It ended up an 84-67 blowout, basically. And like I was saying here earlier, I almost wonder, you know, obviously Kentucky's undefeated. They're trying to go. I think right now they're
It's the
saying,
first time since Bobby Knight's Indiana team.
I want to say the percentages are right now it's 70% to go undefeated throughout the SEC
I
tournament.
think that was about 76 or something.
And now it's like 32% to win outright. And I still say, and I think that Kentucky is built for tournament style play because they pride themselves on defense. These guys like make it a point that they want to shut you down. So
Yeah,
you know, they're not like some high scoring,
No.
run the ball. They're not, it's not the running Rebels. It's not the Vegas teams back then with
They
Jabari
don't
Johnson.
have a bunch of pure shooters on the team.
No, and they're not selfish. These guys basically just crank down and they play defense, man, and they get off on shutting you down.
I believe I told you last time, it's going to take somebody with, you got to have more than one.
Yeah.
You got to have two sizable guys. And between them and your other three, you have to shoot unbelievable. You have to shoot, I'm going to say, better than 60% to win the game. And I'm talking about through the entire game.
See, that's what I'm thinking. It's
That's
either,
the only way you're going to beat
Is a team going to come out there that are a bunch of three-pointer just machines?
And
that
what
they
you just talked
dish?
about there, the way they play defense, that's tough to shoot. Like they're going to have an off night on defense for you to be able to shoot that well.
I watched last night's game. Arkansas brought the ball up 10 times consecutively, 10 times in a row.
Not even got a shot.
Either the ball got stolen, got blocked, missed pass, just missed a shot. Just 10 in a row. It was insane. Now, I mean, I bring up these teams. Is Virginia, Gonzaga, Duke, Wisconsin, or Villanova, are one of these five? You know, because these are like the second tier. It's like Kentucky's number one, and then these guys, every week these guys
laid out
flip-flop
right now of
Who can one of these
Kentucky,
five win?
Virginia, Gonzaga, and Duke being the number one seeds.
Yeah, so
This whole team right here is getting hot.
Villanova?
Yeah, I don't know if they've got what it takes. I'm just saying. But now, right in their own division, SEC,
Yeah.
LSU probably gave Kentucky one of the
Really?
better games this year. Yeah, they had to come down to the end to win that
It's
game.
funny. It's funny you bring up Villanova. I'm sure you remember our buddy front runner. I had to hear him.
Oh, yeah.
He's all Nova'd out at this point. He's picking Nova all the way. So
Doing a good job.
if you're watching, Rob, apparently you and the front runner not only at one time were you a Packer fan, but apparently you both are now starting to agree on this whole Nova Foundation
They're
going
playing
on.
good ball.
All right. Well, here we are, everyone. Another week down.
Oh,
What do you got to sell these people? What do you got? Any parting gifts?
I forgot you talked about the game you watched last night. We watched Duke, of course. They won, but BYU beat Gonzaga.
Yeah, they did, didn't
who was
they?
ranked
I've seen that.
their second loss of the season, and broke a string of 41 straight home games. It was
Wow,
the
that's
lead
big.
in the nation at this time.
41
straight at home, they broke it.
I didn't get to see the game, but I did read a little bit about that. That's huge. That's huge.
That's only their second loss of the season. They were talking about Kentucky with none. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
So again, you got any parting gifts for these guys?
Casey Kane, rock 'em out in Atlanta today.
Again, everyone, if you enjoy the show, check us out on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Two Guys Just Sports, no TMZ. Come on there. We're always during the week. You might have noticed we're always plugging something out on there, putting things on there, posting things. We want some of your feedback. Let us know what you want to talk about, or if you got any questions or anything. We'll be more than happy to discuss it on the
Remember
next
that,
show.
Mr. Schefter. We don't care about TMZ.
We do not care at all.